Uh, Hello, everyone, and welcome to Recruiterflow. It's great being with you all. Thank you so much for joining us today for the product update webinar of Recruiterflow for Q2 2024. My name is Rohit Jangid. I am Director of Sales here at Recruiterflow. Today's webinar is going to be really a quick update on all the few enhancements and releases that we have done over the last couple of months, right? So what we'll do is we'll deep dive into each feature individually, how this could be relevant to you or your team members, and also add value in everyday operations, right? We'll also go through all the steps one by one. And if you have any questions, feel free to share them on the Q&A session or the chat below. One more thing before I get started, I'd like to thank all of our wonderful partners and our clients for being a part of Recruiterflow and anyone else who's joining in. Let's get started with the agenda. This was the introductions that we've completed. Now, an overview and walkthrough of the latest features, right? Towards the end, we'll also share the upcoming features in Recruiterflow and then a Q&A session towards the end. Let's get started with the list of features that we will be covering in the product webinar today, right? All the way from the most placeable candidate, one of the most requested features, to how you can perform Boolean searches, manage your calendar in Recruiterflow, an all-new application form, the ability to drill down within reports, bulk update certain elements and attributes to candidates or contacts, certain enhancements to our recipes feature, some more enhancements on our client portal. One thing which a lot of people would like would be the bulk upload mapping, which I'll come to, and finally, the ability to clone templates. I'll get started with the MPC feature. A lot of our clients have requested the fact that they're not able to share candidates with prospective hiring managers without them having to log into the client portal, right? So client portals can be restrictive because they'll have to set up their credentials. Now, to solve that, we've released the MPC feature where you can select multiple candidates, whether it's from the search or on your candidates page, and pitch them to potential hiring managers that might be interested in these candidates. Now, how do you do it? You can pick up a bunch of candidates from this page or the advanced search. Click on the pitch candidates right there. The page will open up where you can name these candidates or this set. I'm going to call this SEO Rockstars. And decide what data I'd like to show to my hiring managers, right? In most cases, you'd not like to share any of the emails or contact information. So I'm going to hide the contact information while I keep the current title, current company visible, and I can move things around so they get to see in the order that I'd like them to see in. Once this is done and the order is set up, you have two options here where you can create and copy link, which means the link gets copied and you can share this on a LinkedIn message with potential hiring managers if you're doing business development. And the other option would be you can share this via the contacts through an email, right? So I'm going to click on create and share with contacts. The draft is ready for me to share this with the hiring managers, right? It's a very simple draft that I'm working with, nothing overtly alluring. So what you can do is you can add the contacts in there, anyone who might be interested in SEO rockstar candidates, and you could mention that I noticed that you can add field that says company name is looking for senior SEO specialists. Here's a list of candidates that might be a good fit, right? So you can just create that email template and ensure that you send the placeholders. Now, once you send the email through Recruiterflow, each hiring manager will get a unique link where they can view the candidates that are a good fit for those opportunities, right? Eventually, you can also track how many people have opened that unique link by going into settings. Let me show you on the other end what the hiring managers can get to see. So I'm a hiring manager, let's say from Dell Computers, and I get to see 5 candidates shared by Stacy, right? I have the ability to also look at my own logo. So you can set up your own logo for your clients. Keeps a little personalization as well. Here are the submitted candidates and the order of the information that you've set it up. Now, going into Ellen's profile, you as the recruiter can decide what I get to see, right? I shouldn't be seeing all the custom fields, internal notes, salary negotiation. So you can decide what custom fields are showing. You have the ability to also hide or anonymize email addresses, phone numbers, so that the clients probably may not end up reaching out to the candidates, just as a layer of security. You can also anonymize education skills. However, we can choose to keep them public. Now, once this is done, you have the ability to review certain resumes, a branded CV that's added here, the notes. The client can also set up any messages right here and say, I'd like to interview Ellen. Now, once this is sent, you will get a notification in Recruiterflow and you can take it to the next step, right? Another way to do this would be you can set up what options they get to see when they like a candidate. For example, you can say, call me when they click on like candidate or schedule a call with the candidate, right? So it helps you save time, share candidates quickly with prospective hiring managers and get feedback in real time, right? Eventually, we're also going to be adding another workflow where you can select all these candidates, share this with the hiring managers through an email sequence, right? So I can pick up a list of contacts, add them to a sequence, and each hiring manager will get their own unique pitch link where they can review the candidates, interact with you, and get back to you, right? That is our MPC feature. We're going to be adding more enhancements as we go. So we'd love to hear your feedback on this and how you manage speccing candidates out to potential clients, right? Moving on to the next one, we've got another feature where you can search for candidates using a Boolean search string, right? Now, how do you go about this? We have the conventional search ability by going on to advanced search. You can click on add filter and you will see that these new filters have been added recently, right? So I'm going to pick up Boolean search here and I'm going to put in a Boolean string query, right? So let's put in some operators like Java or let's say Golang. And I'm going to put a bracket here that says Java or Golang and Hadoop, right? I'm going to include fuzzy search, which means they will also look for any similar matches and find in the candidates right there. Okay. So I was able to find Java and Hadoop or Golang and Hadoop, right? There's no need for me to explain this, but it's very simple. If you prefer the old school ways of typing in your query or typing in your operators, that is available with the Boolean search. You can also expand a particular candidate record and see why they showed up in the search results, right? So completely context-based as to why these candidates are showing up with your search query. Of course, you can always open the candidate record, go in and see how relevant they are to the profile by going to their files or their profile section right here, right? So super easy. Boolean search and your add your operators here, get context and quickly maybe reach out to them via an email or add them to a sequence and get engaging with them. The Boolean search, searching ability. The next one we have is another feature which a lot of our users, I would say probably the majority of our users have asked for this since a while, which is the calendar widget, right? Many people, many recruiters or even decision makers end up going to their Google Calendar or Outlook Calendar to see what their daily schedule is like, right? So if you're working in a team, it's difficult to see what everyone's working on. However, with the new calendar widget, you can set up your own dashboard here and include an event calendar, which could be either your own calendar or a team calendar, right? So for my purpose, I have set up RF team calendar and my own calendar for the week, day, or the month. Now, I'll be able to track recruiting events such as interviews, screening calls, sales events, and tasks by looking at these three color-coded attributes right here. I have the ability to check out a certain day for my team calendar, and I see that there's a reference call with Jim Alpert that is being managed by Amog. What's interesting is also you can edit the event right from Recruiterflow. So it saves the team the time instead of changing tabs from Google or Outlook. And you can set up certain things. For example, this would be a task, right? The task is a call to be done by the 12th of June, which is today. And I think Amog is going to be caught up. So I'm going to change this task to the 19th. Save event, right? So as the admin, I can change or edit events on behalf of somebody else on my team, like I've done right now for Amog. Coming to my calendar, I can keep a track of what my week is, If I've got empty slots, if I like to reschedule something, I can do so by clicking the edit icon and save event. If you'd like to join an interview, that also can be done by clicking the event and clicking on join with Google Meet or Zoom. The idea behind this was you get a visibility on your schedule, your team schedule. You can edit tasks. You're not spending those couple of minutes shuffling between Recruiterflow and your calendar while everything is under the dashboards. If you need any help setting this up, if you need any help in configuring your dashboard or your team's dashboards, ping us and we will help you configure this very easily. Yeah. The all-new application form, right? Many of our users have set up their careers page on Recruiterflow or using the iframe method to post jobs directly from Recruiterflow to their careers page. What you may have noticed right now is a very good looking and modular sort of an application form, right? So it's a modern looking application form and it's completely modular. And we've set this up with the purpose of enhancing your candidate experience, right? There is a box here where the candidates can drag and drop their CVs. So it reduces the resistance for them to engage on this careers page. You can also customize the application form from the jobs page to keep certain elements or questions mandatory, just like this asterisk here. And the ability to also set up your additional questions, right? One pro tip, you can also map the answers of your application form to your custom fields so that they feed into your custom fields directly under the candidate record. This can have a lot of different consequences and can be used for a lot of different varieties, like triggering recipes. If you need more help on that, please feel free to ping us and we will help you set up the connection between your application form answers to the custom fields of the candidates, right? Also, do check out the application form on your website. It's perfectly optimized for mobile browsing and creates a seamless experience for your candidates. The all-new application form. Drilldown reports. We've had feedback that certain reports would require 2 or 3 similar reports to be opened and to shuffle between them to get some more data points, right? But what we've done is instead of putting all of this in multiple reports, we have combined all this so that you can drill down and dig deeper to find those data points, what we call as drill down reports. For example, let's take up a scenario where we'd like to track new candidates for this quarter and then break it down by job and added by, right? So let's say we've got a job or jobs on this quarter, and we'd like to keep a track of how many candidates were added to which job, right? So categorized by job and added to job by user. If I have a recruiter, if I have a job and I've got 2 recruiters working on the job, let's say financial controller, I can see in this quarter, this week, or last week, how many candidates were added by each of my recruiters, right? So Amog has added 14 candidates. Let's assume for last week, as opposed to 1 quarter. And Rohit is trading at 6 candidates, right? So I can figure out that in total 20 candidates have been added, but also which recruiter or which sourcer is working to add those candidates to build that pipeline, right? So it will give you really good insights and deeper insights within these reports. Another example of this one would be stage movement breakdown. If your recruiter is working in Recruiterflow, changing stages often, you can track in analytics which are the recruiters that are probably the MVPs and the ones that are performing the best, right? So we added the same filters, same quarter, within the job stage moved by user or lead owner, right? We're picking up the same job here, financial controller. And now I get to see more stats about what's the entire cycle and who has taken steps or submitted the relevant candidates at each step of the recruitment process. Amog has screened 6 candidates. Rohit has done 5. Because probably, screening 6 candidates, 3 have gone on to offer and 1 for Rohit, right? That way, you can figure out whether a recruiter is working to add to a pipeline, whether a recruiter is submitting candidates. And if you'd like to see conversions between those recruiters and get some more details, you can also go on to the job pipeline report. But this would give you a good idea that how 2 recruiters are faring for the same job that they've been assigned to. Drill down reports. One quick pro tip, if you are working with this report very often, you can head over to the three dots, click save, and call this my Monday morning report, recruiters progress. Right. We're going to be adding more functionality to our reports as in when we figure out more use cases and how to best present them to you. But that's drill down reports within the analytics module. Okay, moving on to bulk update. A lot of the attendees that have joined the webinar today probably manage a lot of data, probably spend more than 3 or 4 hours in Recruiterflow, right? And are probably looking also to derive certain tips and tricks where they can save time. One of these features that we've released, our enhancements that we call, is the ability to change multiple attributes for different candidates in one go, right? So let's take, for example, we've got all the way from Sarah to Monica, and they have not been engaged in the last 30 days, right? I am probably managing a team of recruiters, and I'd like to reassign the lead owners to nobody so that people or my recruiters can pick up these candidates and start engaging with them. Now, instead of doing this individually, I can just select the candidates, click on Update Fields. I will head over to Lead Owner, and then the action would be Remove Values, which means if Ellen or Tony or Olivia was assigned to Amog and Sarah and Harvey was assigned to me, I found that they've not been touched or engaged with in the last 30 days. And I'd like to remove these lead owners so that other recruiters can go out and approach these candidates. I can do so in bulk with just about 3 clicks, right? There are lots of use cases for this. If you like to update certain skills, I'd recommend adding a tag. If you met 5-7 candidates during a conference or an expo, you can head over to Note, add note, and say, met at London at the Recruitment Agency Expo, and updates those fields in bulk, right? So it's a huge time saver. If you're dealing with large sets, you can imagine in multiples the time that you can save by using bulk update feature. And if there's anything that we could do to help you in your business development endeavor or keeping candidates engaged via automations, please let us know. We've got a bunch of ideas. Our idea is just to ensure that you engage with your candidates, with possible clients, even if there are no jobs out there right now, how we can best keep them engaged through, birthday messages or setting up sequences. Just drop us an email and we'll help you out with how this can be set up for your account. All right. Moving on to the next feature. We've added a new trigger which says disqualify candidates with a certain criteria or a rule, right? So let me explain this, how you can manage this to better manage your pipeline and reduce the workload for your recruiters. Let's assume we've got a pipeline here called the financial controller for this fictional job called Avengers. Recruiters work a lot of candidates, right? And sometimes they end up not speaking to candidates for 2 weeks, probably have gone cold. Now, you as the admin or you as the leader or you as a recruiter yourself know that if it's gone beyond 2 weeks, there's no point of, engaging with these candidates. What you can do to auto clean your pipeline is set up the auto disqualify recipe, right? Now, how this works is head over to Advanced Search. I'm going to pull up a pre-existing rule or a recipe or a filter that I've set up, right? Which means if the last stage of the candidate was moved 30 days ago, right? So 30 days was the last time I updated something when it comes to the progress of their journey. Identify those candidates in real time. I have saved this search, and now I will head over to the recipe section right here. Create a new recipe. And the new recipe would say, when a candidate identifies and becomes a part of this rule or this logic or this search, right? So I've set it up such that when a candidate enters the saved search, disqualify the candidates that have not been moved for 30 days with a specific reason, gone cold or not engaged or dead or whatever that means, right? So the idea is decide what your threshold is, what your last probably deadline is where, candidates go cold, set up the filters in Recruiterflow, save that search, drop it to a trigger, and voila, every time a candidate has not been engaged with or the stage is not changed in 30 days, they go to disqualify and with a specific disqualification reason, which means, you're keeping your pipeline clean and always moving candidates and focusing on the ones that are relevant. A quick one also, you can star your top candidates, so you can keep your eye on Guilfoyle, for example, or Guilfoyle, and also drag and drop candidates and trigger a bunch of automations if you like to set that up. Customizable client portal. We've added some more enhancements to the client portal. So if your clients are the ones that have credentials to log in and look at their pipeline, we've added the ability to choose what they can get to see and the order that you'd like to show them certain elements or certain data, right? So just head over to the settings tab, client portal settings, select the columns that you'd like to show or hide and the order you'd like to see them in, and they will get to see the information that you want to show them and the order that you'd like them to see, right? So simple enhancements, but a lot of control on what they cannot do in the client portal. Right, bulk upload mapping. This is not a poll right now, but I'm assuming a lot of the people or the attendees right here would be uploading a lot of information from, let's say, Zoom'24 or external sources to Recruiterflow, right? A spreadsheet, maybe a CSV. Now, you may have noticed that there is a certain cumbersome process involved when you upload certain things in different softwares, right? So I'm going to go through this process with you. I want to upload a lead list that I've got from, let's say, Zoom'24, and like to quickly add it to Recruiterflow. So I'm going to choose the file, select it from my computer. Looks good, proceed to mapping. And this is where things get difficult for me, right? Because I have to do this thing repetitively each week, right? Or even my recruiters have to do this. So instead of going through all of this cumbersome process all over again, select your past upload, and Recruiterflow will auto map basis that template, right? You've done the mapping before. Recruiterflow will show you your past history of the uploads and the dates. Make sure to name them so that you can quickly pick them up, and everything will be mapped automatically, right? This is a huge time saver. We've also noticed that sometimes, we're all human. We end up forgetting to map something, and then we go back to the Recruiterflow. We see that this column is empty because it's not been mapped correctly, right? So reduces time, reduces any frustrations, accurately maps everything, and then cuts down the time to get started with working those leads. The ability to bulk upload from a previous template with just one click. Yeah. One pro tip, please don't forget to tag it with something. So I'm going to put this as 12th of June leads from Zoom'24, right? Because in case I want to change something, I can always go back to search, look for this tag, pull up those candidates, make changes via bulk update or delete them, right? So the identifier would be the tag. Don't forget to add that tag so you can use this in the future to change certain things. I hope you found this useful. Things are still going on, but this is one of the things that was most requested since a while. It took our team to build this a couple of months, but I'm assuming this is going to be a huge time saver for everyone. You can now clone templates, email or note templates by heading over to settings. This is the settings panel, templates. When you go to a particular template, you will see this copy icon right there, right? So you don't have to start from scratch. Click on clone template, save, and then your template has been pre-populated for another use case, for another scenario, right? Just ensure you change the template name to something else. Wonderful. With that, we end the webinar, the features. However, there are a lot of new things that we're going to be releasing next quarter. In fact, our team has been working very hard on this since the last couple of quarters for a variety of different features. There are going to be a lot of AI enhancements. So if you're not aware, we have the ability to set up, email templates using ChatGPT in the email sequencing feature. We've also got speech to text, which can be done from the candidate note mic icon. But we're actually working on a lot of AI enhancements where you could interact with AI. You can use AI to summarize candidate records and ensure that you're selecting, searching, summarizing, and matching candidates. So it's in the works, and we will be out soon. Debbie, just another minute, and we can answer your questions. We're also adding the completely new feature of enhanced revenue tracking, right? So whether you're a contingent business working with contingent setup, or you're working with a retained setup, the ability to track, your revenue at certain milestones of the job can be done through this new enhanced revenue tracking module. We also have a PW mobile app. If you spend more than 1 or 2 hours in Recruiterflow, I'd recommend that you reach out to us so we can show you how you can save Recruiterflow as an app right to your home screen, right? You can click on the app, you can get started, you can look for candidates all through your mobile phone. And it's being developed as we speak. So a lot of new features and enhancements coming on the mobile app. Yep. And finally, an all new look to Recruiterflow. Just a quick one, just like the application form, we're also going to be adding and changing a lot of things. So don't be surprised if things look different, things look more modern and enhanced. We're working to change the aesthetics so that, there's always something good for you to look at while you work in Recruiterflow. Yep. Right. That's all for the features and what's coming up next. We can have a Q&A session now. We strive to have these sessions more often. I know it's a one-way conversation here, but anything that you'd like to share in terms of feedback, new features, we've expanded our engineering team and we're working really hard to give you what you want, but all of our ideas come from you. So please keep them coming.